Kia ora, this is Suitauloa Simon Young and you're watching One Ancestor at a Time. I'm going to take a little side detour this time because I'm including in my definition of ancestors the places, organisations and belief systems that have nurtured us and affected the way we think and see the world. So today I'm going to speak about West Auckland as one of my ancestors because it's where I was born, it's where I live now and where I've spent most of my nearly 50 years of life. I grew up in Titirangi, which means the fringe of heaven. As I said in the making of my pepeha, the description is accurate. Titirangi is a stunningly beautiful place with native forest that's regenerating after having been largely culled for farmland and for timber in the early 1900s. Why they were trying to make farmland on steep clay hills, I don't know, but thankfully, around 100 years ago, common sense prevailed and people saw that there was a need to protect these native species such as the giant kauri tree which now proliferates throughout West Auckland despite being under threat from plant diseases. So I was very privileged to grow up on a section with 17 of these giants of the forest protecting and surrounding me alongside other precious native trees. They do what trees do, which is just stand there, really. Sometimes those trees were cause for distress though, because their roots started to grow into the house and the roof and the branches would fall off, sometimes pretty loudly. You couldn't really keep a car outdoors in that place because leaves would fill up all the nooks and crannies. And you could say that trees always win. Trees always win because they just last, they endure. Trees always win because they know that no matter what's happening right now, other things will come and go. Just because the weather is hot right now doesn't mean winter isn't on its way. Just because the weather's cold right now doesn't mean that spring is not coming. Trees are also collective. One branch, one tree may fall, but underground, the connections between roots sustain. Trees protect. We used to worry that the trees may fall on our house because they are very, very tall. And yet, as we learnt more about trees, we realized that as far up as they go down deep. They go down deep into the earth to get the sustenance that they need, and they stand tall and they endure. So those trees from the time of my early childhood up until we left the house in 2022 were constant teachers to me. They didn't particularly say much, obviously, but they spoke in their silence, their patience, and their forbearance. And they just spoke about life. Trees take a long-term view on life. They're not particularly concerned by concrete or cement. They just go around it or through it. They do what they want. I look at Indigenous cultures in much the same way, particularly Te Ao Māori, and I do this as a learner, not an expert by any means. I can see the resilience of the kauri trees despite the terrible disease that's afflicted them recently. I can also see the resilience of Māori culture despite suppression, assimilation that took place for over a century and still continues today. In the Māori view of the world, nature is like a relative, it's family. Trees are indeed our ancestors and they deserve the same respect that we would offer to our human ancestors. Contrast this with the Western view of the world that natural resources are given to us to use up, to consume. I think somehow that my mother, despite having no knowledge of Te Ao Māori, got this. She somehow felt this in her heart and that passed on to me. I'm not tangata whenua, but I'm very privileged to call this area home. In my younger days, my mum used to take us kids on bushwalks all throughout West Auckland, Huia, Mount Donald McLean, Te Henga, Bethel's Beach, Karekare, Muriwai. We roamed those hills with respect and reverence for the nature around us. I was really spoiled because I didn't realise that the whole world is not like this. And so that's why I think West Auckland is one of the most beautiful places on earth. Even today I'm blessed. I'm not surrounded as I was by native trees, but just within 5 minutes walk I'm able to rediscover and reconnect with our native flora and fauna and just dwell, just be in it. It's amazing. This is just my way of paying tribute to the landscape that gave me life and sustained me. Spiritually, emotionally, it gave me sustenance during times when I faced trouble or anguish or searching for a new chapter in life. The nature of West Auckland has been a companion for reflection and a setting for listening and learning when words were not enough. There's more to this story, but I need to do some more groundwork. That is to discover the story of the iwi whose land this is, Te Kawerau a Maki. I've begun the conversation, and I hope that one day soon I'll be able to share their story on this channel. But because it's not my story to tell, that's all I'll say about it for now. This land, as if an ancestor, has given me support and nurture, and it's the least I can do to learn more about it and to walk lightly upon it and to do what I can to maintain it and protect it. So that is my tribute to my ancestor, West Auckland. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe so you get updated with every new video that comes out. You may also want to check out my pepeha and the explanation of how I made it, or my tribute to my parents, Annette and Graham, as I continue to learn the history of the world in which I live, in which we live, one ancestor at a time.
I believe in your soul. I know we need each other. I know our love is strong. Anyway, it feels like coming home. It feels like coming home.